Hello, it's Kari. It is Tuesday, December 13th, 2016. I just bought this cap at the dollar store. I went in there to buy, something for my cat, and as I pulled up, I had used the last of my duct tape yesterday, and of course I have pink duct tape. And so I was going to give them shit that's like, oh yeah, you guys don't even have pink duct tape. But they did. So in the previous video, I was talking about work and how hard I'm working. I started to talk about it's the only pill I really mispronounced, the spironolactone. I'm on the maximum dose that you can safely take right now. And my testosterone levels, I recently found out, are still high, which are still kind of in the very low male range. Ever since starting to go on the hormones, my doctor has prescribed finasteride, which is supposed to go along with the other one. And I already had low testosterone to begin with, so the fact that this in the maximum dose isn't doing much, but at least my estrogen levels are in the female range. They're in the low female range. But my doctor recently, like a month ago, prescribed to go on the injections, which are much better, which my endocrinologist recommended from the beginning. But it was start on the pills and work towards the injections rather than do it right away. And so the Oregon Health Plan, which is the Medicaid expansion that I'm on, the local branch is called WOA, and so that's for my county and area, and they've been saying no all along, and it's go through this, go through that, and these are steps that I've already done to get there. I haven't addressed it much. Oh, really quick, the point that I was making is the side effect of this spironolactone is frequent urination. And so when doing this job, it was like dancing to go pee, and it comes on quick and I need to pee. It's that female cliche. Anyway. So since doing this different loading kind of thing, oh come on, honey. Since doing this, I haven't needed to really pee because I'm sweating it all out. I'm worried about, since I have high testosterone, that I'm going to lose my breasts and get muscle mass. Yeah, I pretty much just worried the doctor a little bit because I was just, no, I can't fucking have this. I can't fucking have testosterone. I can't fucking live with it. I can't. If I lose this fucking shit that I've fought so hard for, right when I start developing, if I work those off, oh goddamn. No. Fuck no. But I gotta get off of that because that's not something I can concentrate on, as you can see. I don't need to lose my shit here. I don't need to lose my shit anywhere. And so I'm going through all these steps, and I've done these steps. And now it's my doctor's office and my therapist fighting what to get this done. One thing that's worth talking about, I know I probably mentioned it in other videos, but in this county, I am the reason that trans people can get the surgery and go on hormones. Because they had been dragging their feet for well over a year before I got involved. And this was August of 2015 when I made the decision I'm going on hormones. This stuff had already been in the paperwork and started to be covered by OHP, the Oregon Health Plan. Other counties were doing it, but many counties were dragging their feet. And so I was fighting to go on it. And by March, it was getting to the point to where I was getting suicidal. And it was like, my life is being affected. No, I can't. So I contacted the newspaper. I contacted the Oregonian. And there was a lady that was doing an article about this very thing. And so I sent an email. The next day she contacted me and did an interview over the phone. The article was published on the 4th in the paper, but on the 1st on the internet. And, there's several people, a lot of people that she talks to. And I'm in there, and I use my dead name. But, because that wasn't changed then, or I didn't even considered. After I got interviewed, I told my therapist, and then I also called, because at this point I had the lower levels of administration. I had one lady's direct line, and my file was kept there and ready, because I was a huge pain in the ass, because I could call and quote them their policy right off the top of my head. And not only was I insistent and passionate, I was respectful and showed that I was lucid. And even explained my passion when it was misconstrued as anger. And I did it calmly, and it was very effective. One of the first, if not the fucking first time, I have been that effective. Been able to control my emotions enough. So, I told them I was going public and I'd name names. The article came out, and they started moving their feet, but they were going to require me and all other trans people to drive 3+ hours out of their way to another city to get evaluated by one person. I could go into all the details, but I called them and fought them on this. It's like, we are the poorest minority there are. We can't find the time, let alone the money, to get up there. It's like, well, we have this, da-da-da that you can use and get up there. But it's like, the time. I can't do the time. This is huge. You know what it took for me to drive 3 hours to see the endocrinologist once? That took forever. And that was working as hard as I could to do it. So I fought, and, after the article came out and there wasn't as big a blowback as they thought, they started to drag this certain way. And so this is when I started heavily quoting policy. And one day on the phone, I told the lady that, you're not only, and I said you, and not as in you directly, but you as a representative of the Western Oregon Health, whatever, WOA. And I said, you are putting lives on the line, and your mission statement is to do no harm. And it's not that, I won't quote the whole thing, but ultimately it's that. And, that was one of the points where I demonstrated that, I know this policy, and yes, I'm passionate, but I was basically telling her if they kept dragging their feet, I was going to be dead. And I did it in very harsh words, too. And it's like, this is putting my life on the line. You are, and you have literally killed people by dragging your feet. And both of those statements were fact, and verified fact. And I told them if they didn't do something, and so this was the beginning of April, mind you. I said, if I'm not on hormones by the end of the month, I don't think I'll be alive. And that's why on May 5th, I was on hormones. It got to the point with me. It was that close. That wasn't hyperbole. It wasn't an over-exaggeration. I was stating fact. So, when they approved this, not only did my therapist, who was a great advocate for me, and I even signed papers that stated that this was all me and she influenced me in no way. And she didn't. Because she was amazed at how much I knew off the top of my head that she would check later. And I was right. And not only right, but, really, really close on the wording. Scary close. And this is shit I read once, maybe twice. So, my therapist told me from her upper-ups. And they told me directly over the phone that they were going to allow this. But they weren't going to allow it until the summer. And I was about to flip when she said, but we are going to let you go before anybody else. Months before anybody else. I have a friend that, he didn't go on it till August. And I had been on it since March. So in my previous videos, when I say that I'm done with the violence, I'm done playing their games, and shit's getting real scary now. I really don't pay attention to the news, and I, have been sidily seeing things lately, and, out of what gets reported in this country and what the average person looks at, let's say I'm probably looking at 0.5% of any of it. But it seems to me that the people in all aspects of my life that believe all sorts of things in various spectrums, that there's a lot of crazy shit going on right now in the world. When I used to pay attention to this stuff, it would just... sometimes it would make me happy, but it would be infuriating. And when I pay attention to it, it's not infuriating, but the way things are going is scary. I don't know about anybody else out there, but things are insane. But that's the way it is. It's like I said in the other video, these things are here and you can't just take them away. So with whatever's going on with society, in my opinion, these are just old issues that haven't been dealt with. Like me and my drinking. Me and my misery. Me and my anger. There was something at my core that was shocking. And when I admitted to myself, and then when it really hit me, because admitting it to myself was just this, this is just the new thing, this isn't gonna be it. When it really hit me that I was transgender. Holy shit. Oh my god, I'm fucking trans. I was in literal shock. So that's my point. For me, society is a collection of what individual, there's a book called The Crowd, very interesting, published in the late 1800s, that talks about this kind of stuff. But, I just think there's this collective underlying issue, and what does it go back to? I was thinking the other day that It was one of those late at night, kind of falling asleep thinking. And I thought about how weird borders are. Yeah, there's a place in Scripture, and I want to say it's in Isaiah, but it could be in the... Anyway, doesn't matter. God. It basically says that, you will divide and divide until there's nothing left. And I was thinking about borders. Then inside borders, you have more borders of business and cities and houses and fences and properties. There have been lines drawn in the sand all over the world. And in that other video, I talk about the line in the sand and how it's easy to make and it draws families apart. So aren't borders the same thing? People are probably going to hate me for saying this, but there's no reason to think that just because of a line in the sand, we are better than them. That kind of thinking is stupid, and it really doesn't get people anywhere. And I know people get real fervent about the us versus them issue, no matter if it's a border, a religion, a business, politics, whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and end. It's been kind of long, and frankly, it's probably been a week in between me starting and finishing this. So, yay!